The 4A's summarize practical strategies to reduce our stress reaction. You've heard many of these strategies before, and they align with cognitive restructuring techniques. Begin slow and introduce one concept at a time. Before you know it, you will be managing the stress in your life like a pro. The first A is avoid. While not all problems can be avoided, there are steps that you can take to avoid a lot of potential stressors. Planning ahead is the key. Recording your stressful events in a stress log helps you to identify routine and some unique stressors that you can mitigate using these strategies. First, take control of your surroundings. Is the traffic insane? Leave early for class or take the longer, less traveled route. Is the gym overcrowded when you want to work out? Plan your trips to the gym during off-peak hours to avoid the rush. Avoid people who bother you. Is there someone in your life who causes your jaw to tense? Put physical distance between the two of you. Sit far away at gatherings or engage with others when they are around, even if it requires some extra effort. Learn to say no. You have a lot of responsibilities and demands on your time. At a certain point, you cross the line between being charitable and being foolish. Focus on those things that are a priority and turn down the others. Those who are important to you will appreciate more time with a more relaxed you, and you'll have time to enjoy them too. Ditch part of your list. Label your to-do list with A's, B's, and C's according to importance. On hectic days, scratch the C's from your list. For those situations that you cannot avoid, find another strategy. The second A is alter. Analyzing your stress will help here. One of the most helpful things you can do during times of stress is to take inventory. Then attempt to change your situation for the better. Here are some tips. Respectfully ask others to change their behavior and be willing to do the same. Small problems often create larger ones if they aren't resolved. If you're tired of being the target of a friend's jokes at parties, ask them to leave you out of the comedy routine. In return, be willing to enjoy their other jokes and thank them for humoring you. Communicate your feelings openly. Remember to use I statements as in, I feel frustrated by shorter deadlines and a heavier workload. Is there something we can do to balance things out? We will take a look at assertive communication skills a little later. Manage your time better. Lump together similar tasks. Group your phone calls, car errands, and computer-related tasks. The reward of increased efficiency will be extra time. State limits in advance. Instead of stewing over a friend's nonstop chatter when you are trying to study, politely start the conversation with, I've only got 5 minutes to talk. Setting boundaries is so important. We will address this in depth a little later. Sometimes we have no choice but to accept things the way they are. For those times, try to talk with someone. You may not be able to change a frustrating situation, but that doesn't mean your feelings aren't legitimate. Phone or schedule a coffee break with an understanding friend. You may feel better after talking it out. Forgive. It takes energy to be angry. Forgiving may take practice, but by doing so, you will free yourself from burning more negative energy. Why stew in your anger when you could shrug and move on? Practice positive self-talk. It's easy to lose objectivity when you're stressed. One negative thought can lead to another, and soon you've created a mental avalanche. Be positive. Instead of thinking, I'm horrible with money and I will never be able to control my finances, try this. I made a mistake with my money, but I'm resilient. I'll get through it. Learn from your mistakes. There is value in recognizing a teachable moment. You can't change the fact that procrastination hurt your performance, but you can make sure you set aside more time in the future. Thinking you can't cope is one of the greatest stressors. That's why adapting, which often involves changing our standards or expectations, can be the most helpful in dealing with stress. Here are some tips to help you adapt. Adjust your standards. Is it a disaster if you skip going out with your friends because you need time to study for a final? Redefine success and stop striving for perfection, and you may operate with a little less guilt and frustration. Practice thought stopping. Stop gloomy thoughts immediately. Refuse to replay a stressful situation as negative, and it may cease to be negative. Reframe the issue. Try looking at your situation from a new viewpoint. Instead of feeling frustrated that you're sick, look at it as an opportunity to catch up on some reading or even your latest show. Adopt a mantra. Create a saying such as, I can handle this, and mentally repeat it in tough situations. Create an assets column. Imagine all of the things that bring you joy in life, such as vacation, friends, family, and pets. Then call on that list when you're stressed. It will put things into perspective and serve as a reminder of life's joys. Look at the big picture. Ask yourself, will this matter in a year or in 5 years? The answer is often no. Realizing this makes a stressful situation seem less overwhelming. While the 4 A's address several cognitive coping strategies that are worth mentioning, they are not rocket science, and chances are that you've heard several before. It never hurts to look at these simple strategies from a new perspective.